Women rights are human rights. Yes, women rights are definitely human rights because we're human, but women's rights are also divine. The word hudud is mentioned in the Quran in 9 verses in 5 surahs. And some of you may think hudud is corporal punishment, physical punishments of Islam, criminal punishments. That's not how the word hudud is used in the Quran. The word hudud in the Quran is used as the boundaries or the limits of God. And about half of the mentions relate to women's rights, and particularly women's rights in divorce, when a man is most likely to be agitated and unjust. And so God is very stern in saying, respect the boundaries of God, respect the limits, because he's basically and essentially telling the men that their rights are divine rights and you have to respect those rights. So not only, as I said, women's rights are human rights in Islam, but Islam came to show men and other women that our rights are enshrined in the Quran. It's wonderful that they're in some human rights, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, but in the Quran, our rights are much stronger, because in the Quran, our rights have to do with an all-knowing God that provided for reality, our real existence, who we really are as beings, and provided for that reality through the rights in the Quran, our rights to a good living, our rights to a comfortable home, our rights to a fair divorce, our rights to care for our children, whether in marriage or divorce, our rights to be dignified, our rights to privacy, for people not to talk about our behaviors and where we go so long as we are discreet. All of these things are extremely important. Our rights to respect from our husbands. I mentioned in yesterday's meeting that we had, men take for granted how special women are. If you look at Surah Al-Mujadila in the Quran, which is the lady who disputed with the Prophet or discussed with him the fact that her husband was abusing her by saying, when he got angry, he'd say, "You are like the back of my mother," which is a huge, huge insult. And yet this man would want to resume marital relations with her as if there was no issue. And the Prophet didn't know how to respond initially. But then this revelation came down just for this woman, saying, you cannot call your wives that. And if you do, you have to fast for 2 months before you touch them again. That's pretty intense rights right there, And it goes for any form, in my opinion, of abuse that diminishes the dignity of the woman, that makes her something haram for the man. Like saying you're like my mother is making you out of the realm of halal for your husband. Any insult of that nature requires expiation. So these are the rights of women in the Quran. Look at how gentle God is with the mother of Moses, for instance. He saved her son, then brought him back to her. He inspired her. There's many, many examples that demonstrate the nature of rights that women have in the Quran that I believe are much more suitable for who we are as a people and as a gender. So unfortunately, men that believe that are not reading the Quran properly, and they're not taking the message to heart, the spirit of the message to heart, and even the word of the message.